To find the area of this square, again, we're going to break it down into right triangles. So we're going to take this right triangle here. I'm going to highlight that. And we're going to find the area of that right triangle. So I'll try it again here. There's the right triangle. So we need to measure the height. So I've got a height here of 2. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Make sure you go all the way into the corner. So it's 11 that way. So we're going to have 2 times 11 divided by 2. That's going to be 22 divided by 2 is 11. So we have 11 squares. And the one thing that we know about this diagram is that if we slice this up into the shape, so what we're doing is we're dividing it, following the grid lines straight down like this and straight across. We're following the grid lines to find the nice right triangles. We know that this right triangle is the same as the one horizontally. And again, if we start from the corner here and we follow the grid lines, that triangle here is going to be exactly the same as the first one. It's going to be 11 by 2. And again, the bottom triangle here, it's hard to measure the squares when we have a triangle like this, but because it's a right triangle, we can use that. We can redraw that one. We can use that triangle, right triangle at the very bottom, and that right triangle is exactly the same as the other one. So that's going to be 11 as well. So we have a total of 11, 11, 11, 11. So that's going to be 44 squares. But we also have to find the area of the inside square. But the inside square is easy because that area is easy to measure. So we're just going to count. We're going to count the edge length. It's not 11. Make sure you actually count it. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And it's going to be 9 the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's got to be a square. So we know that there's 81 squares in there. So we're going to add that up. And that's going to give us 125 squares in total. Okay, so the total area that make up that non-perfect square is going to be 81, 11, 11, 11, 11, which gives us a total of 125 squares. And again, if we want to find the edge length, we'll square root that. This next one's a little bit harder because you need to draw the grid lines. So to draw the grid lines here, we're just going to start at the corner. So notice I've drawn the first couple. I started at the corner. I've gone down. I started at this corner, come across. If I want to draw the other grid lines, we're going to do it from the corner. So from that corner, I'm going to go straight across like this. And that's going to give us that triangle on the top. I'm going to go from the bottom corner down here. And again, I have to follow the grid lines because I want to make this easy for myself to make out the area. So draw on the grid lines from there. So let's start with the easy area. That area in here is going to be the easier area. And it's going to be a square. So I'm going to count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a 5 by 5 square. It's going to double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so 5 by 5 squared is going to give me 25 squares in the middle. I want to figure out the outside triangle areas. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find out these areas. I'm going to redraw that one there. So we're going to find the vertical height and the horizontal width. So I'm going to count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure you go all the way to the corner. and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Again, make sure you go all the way to the corner. So then the area is going to be 4 times 9, which is 36, divided by 2 is going to give me 18 squares. Okay, so 18 squares. We have 18 in here, and then all the other right triangles are going to be 18 squares as well. They are exactly the same. This right triangle is exactly the same as the other one. This right triangle here is exactly the same. So this is 18 as well. And this right triangle, again, notice I'm using the grid lines to make the edges. This is going to be 18. So 18 plus 18 plus 18 plus 18. Okay, on my calculator, I'm going to get 72 squares. It's actually the same calculation as a green one, by the way. We have 25 squares that make up the middle square. So the total area is going to be 100, oops, not 100, it's going to be 97 squares of area. So it's almost a perfect square of 100, but not quite. So the edge length is just going to be just a little bit less than 10. If we measure it, that's what we would get.